world is being reinvented right in front of our very eyes. So we, the technologists of the world, are the ones that should lead that change.
Our job as IT leaders, as entrepreneurs, as managed service providers, to make sure that we are on the forefront of reinvention rather than having to fight back from adversity.
Yes, sir.
Hi guys, Reese Horman, Geek on Wheels, Denton, Texas. I've got a 20-man break-fix operation and we are transitioning into MSP. And I wanted to get your advice on techniques to increase buy-in and get my team as motivated about this transition as I am, because there's some nervousness associated with it.
I'm letting you do that one.
I think the team, you got to make the case for change, because change is scary for all of us as human beings. So if I opened up today and said, hey dude, let's go Rollstorm, you'd probably laugh me off of the stage. But when we talked about those companies that didn't reinvent and the ultimate fate that they endured, you got to make the case for it. Why the status quo can be very dangerous, and why we have to move in this new direction in order for sustainable success. So I think you got to get buy-in by sharing with them why.
I want to add one thing to that. And a lot of times when you're trying to reinvent yourself, the best way to do it is to actually start a new practice area inside of your company. Instead of saying, gee, I want to switch my company over from break fix to managed services, the better way of thinking of it is we're still going to do break fix because a lot of our legacy customers are not going to move over. We need to start a new practice area, and maybe that's where you bring in your new thinking, or maybe a new colleague into the company, or maybe you take one of your existing ones and say, you are the czar of managed services.
So I can't believe it's already been 6 months since I asked those questions to Josh and Arnie there at IT Nation. Last 6 months have been incredibly eventful for us here at Geek on Wheels, and wanted to follow up on our concept that we've sent out for our Town Hall for IT Nation 2015 called 365 Days to Greatness. So here's a timeline of what's happened with Geek on Wheels in the last 6 months. On November 12th, we went to IT Nation. That was a great experience, life-changing for me, to see these companies, to hear them talk about the recurring revenue, and to meet some of these guys, to meet Alex Rogers and his team, to see how he's doing it, to see his sales and charisma and how he just crushes it. These were really cool things for me. I came back super excited. Put together this town hall concept that we're talking about right now, and knew that my company had to change or we would be in peril here in the next 6 months or a year. So came back shortly after that, December 1st, we went live with ConnectWise and LabTech. I had been implementing, over the last month or two, I guess, prior to that. With that, we opened up that managed service division at that point. I appointed one of my top performers to that role as our MSP czar, as Arnie called it, Justin Deuce. He became our MSP director. I took our other best performer and designated him as our lab tech admin. Gave our guys some identity, some role, some ownership in this new division. And that's been extremely beneficial to have that advice from Arnie and to implement it in such a way. So after that, December 10th, we went to the CharTech training. It was the very next training after IT Nation for sales and marketing. It was extremely beneficial. I took my lab tech and ConnectWise admins out there with me. They were able to see how CharTech's doing it, to see how Alex is presenting, what kind of value he's selling on, and also their BDR backup infrastructure. It was great for us to see that as well, which we utilize them for. Fast forward to January 6th, we booked our first managed service deal. It's the first deal I had booked based on the CharTech sales methods, $3,500 a month monthly, great deal, and we were able to book the deal at a higher rate than the other competitors that were coming in there because of the overall image, presentation, and the delivery. The past work we'd done for the client just spoke volumes. So that was an exciting day for us to have our first MSP deal booked within about a month of opening the division. It was exciting. Fast forward to February 12th. February 12th, we booked our 5th managed service client. That day sticks out in my head. It's an important day for me for a couple of reasons. Prior to doing managed services and having recurring revenue from these clients, we were selling blocks of labor for businesses. You know, if you used us in an ongoing fashion, you bought a 20 or a 40-hour block at a discounted hourly rate. So here's my list of about 50 block time clients that we had prior to our managed service model. We stopped selling block in January, allowing people to exhaust the existing contracts they have, but that 5th managed service client, those 5 deals generate as much annual revenue as these 50 block time clients, with a lot higher margin too, so that's been nice. But that was a real eye-awakening thing for me, to see that 10x multiplier of what this new model can offer. It was very good. Fast forward to March, we've got 7 managed service clients who are onboarding, doing more presentations. It's just moving and moving. April, we just went to the Q2 user group in Dallas on Friday. Very useful, great networking going on at that. Saw a few new vendors that we're going to be looking at. But numbers as of today, we've got 11 managed service clients. 9 of those were existing block time clients prior to the managed service model. We're at about $16,000 a month in recurring revenue, and we're doing about 1 to 2 discoveries a week, 2 to 3 presentations. We're managing 175 endpoints right now, and our managed service model is a all or nothing deal, flat rate, everything covered, no tiered pricing, no group pricing, just everything. And selling on that has been a great deal. We're closing about 35 to 40% of our farmed leads, existing clients and so forth. So got a good strong close rate on those. We're about to start hunting. So crushing those hunted new leads, those cold called scheduled appointments, that's going to be something that we'll be tackling here pretty soon. As far as our goals for the end of the year for 2015 in total, my goal with the company is to have 30 managed service clients by the end of the year. We're projected to do that, and I want us to be at $50,000 a month in recurring revenue.
Hello, my name is Justin Dews, and I'm Director of Managed Services at Geek on Wheels.
Hi, my name is Tyler Skiles. I'm the General Manager of Geek on Wheels, and today we're here to talk about how well Geek on Wheels and ConnectWise work together.
You know, when we started looking at different PSA and RMM tools out there, we looked at all of the industry leaders, but we really started to notice something specific about ConnectWise and LabTech, that every time we looked at a message board, every time we went to a review site or any of the MSP industry sites, we noticed that ConnectWise and LabTech were really the top notch, or the leading tools out there for doing what we needed to do with our business.
ConnectWise has affected Geek on Wheels by making us all more efficient, adding a level of transparency that we didn't have before between departments, and actually in the last 6 months since implementing ConnectWise, we've experienced exponential growth.
Our business was primarily a break-fix business. We sold blocks of time to clients and tried to portray that as a support contract. In dealing with that, we were unable to really, first of all, align our goals with our clients. It's just something that we could not do with the block time model. Another issue we had problem with was billing. We were unable to bill appropriately because a lot of times for those block time clients, they were calling us like they were a managed service client.
Well, I've known Reese for 12 years and worked with him for the last 6. And just in the last 6 months, I see, a whole new person, totally revitalized, excited about the business, excited about the industry. And that excitement is contagious. I see everybody here trying to do better, trying to work harder, and it's trickling down.
Our story has huge value for everyone involved. It's an inspirational story of a break-fix operation with an unclear future that was able to, in 1 year, implement not only a new ticket and PSA and RMM system, but completely pivot and open up that managed service division and do really well at it. And within 12 months have $50,000 in recurring revenue. Was only made possible by utilizing these partners and utilizing the Chartech sales method and all these other products that were involved, right? I can sell those products, my team, our story can sell those products. Arnie, send your creative team down here, highlight my business. Let's utilize this story to showcase the systems. You know, use this as a case study. Use our financials if you need to. There's so much value in what we've been doing over the last 6 months, what we're going to be continuing to do over the next 6 months, and everyone involved can benefit from this. Particularly the companies that are out there that may be ConnectWise prospects that are still in that break-fix foundation. If you're in a break-fix operation and you haven't started planning your migration or your switch into managed services, you're going to be going out of business in the next 6 to 12 months, 18 if you're lucky. And I came back from IT Nation with that awareness, but I can convey that in a very meaningful way to a business owner, to a prospect, to a manager of one of these potential clients of yours that hasn't made that switch. So here's what I'm looking for and asking for help from the ConnectWise team and all the other vendors involved. Guys, we are so close to being that full-scale managed service company that I was speaking about in the concept here. There's a few pieces of the modern office suite that we're missing. There's a few other things that we're missing with a couple other vendors that would really take us to the next level. And if we can figure out a way to work out some kind of premium pricing, some kind of deal, you will accelerate my company and put more growth into what we're presenting as far as our town hall. And I will be able to convey as a business owner, as a manager, as an executive, the value of each one of these products and what they've brought to the table and how this can be done, how you can go from a completely break-fix operation to managed services with $500,000 a year in recurring revenue in 365 days. So, specifically what we're needing, Alex and the Chartech team, get us on that premium membership. Get us a good deal on it. I need to get a sales guy in here soon. I'd like to have one in here that we're by the end of the year. By January, I'd like to have a full-time sales guy doing the hunting, doing the farming, doing the discovery, so that I can realign my time back to operations, management, and growth, and focusing on that side of the business. From the ConnectWise team, you know, we're on ConnectWise, we're on LabTech, but we're missing Quozal. That's a huge piece of this. You know, we want to implement that. Let's talk about getting that going here pretty quickly. BizDocs, we're missing a key piece of documentation software here. We'd really like to utilize that as well. You know, at some point, Osprey, Rob Rogers and your team, we would love to use some of those outsourced leads, the lead generation, the scheduled appointment services that you can bring to the table. But these are things that we're looking to use as a platform to take us to that next level, going from good to great, right? Thank you for watching our video. I'll be at Automation Nation in June with our LabTech and ConnectWise admin, and I hope to talk to you guys more about the concept.